called down the thunder, well, now you got it. You see that? It says United States Marshal.
Quiet. Please don't kill me, please. Please.
Take a good look at him, Mike, because that's how you're gonna end up. The Cowboys are finished, you understand me? I see a red sash, I kill a man wearing it. So run, you cur. Run! Tell all the other curs the law's coming! You tell them I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Yeah. That's pretty much how I feel right now. Happy Friday, everybody. My mic's on, all that good shit. I was gonna do this last night, but then I got super, super tired because they decided, I forgot, Eastern time, they're 3 hours ahead, so they decided to drop Obi-Wan the first 2 episodes last night, but like I said, I was tired, and honestly, I wanted to sleep. So I watched parts 1 and 2. I just finished part 2, and then took a pee break and turned on Rekieta Law on my big screen TV just in case the jury fucking comes in. Yeah, I watch this BS TV, Angela, so you don't have to. So it's my pleasure doing this for you, so you don't have to. And a buddy of mine a couple people have asked me if I was going to do this, and it was like a flip of the coin. So I was like, do I do or do I not? Shoot. All right, he's done. Good. He's gonna go get some sleep. Fuck yeah. So Jesus. Okay, before we dive into this, my initial thoughts of the first episode, because we're gonna do this. I'm gonna split this into 2 because this is how it's gonna roll. Episode 1 was okay for me. It wasn't too bad. It was all right. It wasn't like, oh yeah, this is Star Wars. It was one of those where I was like, okay. Well, let's see what happens. So, fuck, let's just get into this because I can best explain it this way. So, you pretty much start off with the typical Star Wars logo. The cool thing I will give them was that they did a recap, but they pretty much like recapped like the prequels of like when when Obi-Wan first met Anakin, and pretty much it was pretty cool. Like if you didn't see any of the prequels, well, you got a little snippet. You got like a really cool snippet in this shit. So it pretty much, if you didn't see the prequels, you know that Obi-Wan and fucking Qui-Gon Jinn, they were roaming around the galaxy until they met Padme. Who turned out to be Luke and Leia's mummy. Jesus, what else? Long story short, Mom's dead. Kids are separated. Jimmy Smits is in this, which was I didn't think he was gonna be in it, but fuck it, he is. Yeah. So they pretty much recapped all 3 films, which was actually kind of cool because if you didn't watch them, like I haven't watched them in so fucking long, it was kind of like, all right. So we start off at the Jedi Temple from episode 3. So you're pretty much starting off at episode 3. So you're getting a better glimpse of what the fuck happened when the Emperor executed Order 66. So you got this Jedi teaching a bunch of younglings. They like fucking with kids in Star Wars. They love fucking with kids. By the way, the first episode was 55 minutes. I'll explain why. So she gets the kids to kind of safety She gets shot in the gut. I almost said phaser blasted. She gets shot in the gut. And the kids, they're pretty much like, what the fuck do we do? Well, we run. And as they run, you can overhear the Emperor's voice of saying, execute Order 66 from, of course, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And then we fast forward 10 years later. So, 10 years later, so you have to think math-wise, Luke and Leia are now officially 10 years old. Here we are at Tatooine. We get our first fucking look, god damn it, of the Inquisitor and the third sister and the second brother. This guy who's playing the Inquisitor, he's got the voice, he's got the body. They really fucked with his head. Because if you watch the Clone Wars like myself, his fucking face is skinnier. I'm just saying, it's skinnier. But I'll give him. I'll fucking give it to him. Whatever. I'll give it to him. So they're looking for. They end up at this fucking little. Actually, they did give a better look of them. The second sister, the third sister, I'm actually gonna say was actually she was okay. She was okay. I see where her big vagina energy's coming from. Who cares? Yeah, it's like listen. Yeah, River Tatooine. Remember that? We're gonna go back to Tatooine all over again and make you love it. There's the Inquisitor. There's a really good look at the Inquisitor, so you can see his face. He gets a sense, and then he totally takes off to this. Where the fuck is it? At this little fucking at this bar. He starts giving a speech that you probably heard in the trailer, like Jedi have an itch, blah 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 blah. So to get the Jedi, this one particular Jedi to kind of get his shit going, to kind of use his force, the third sister, who has a really cool lightsaber. I always like the Inquisitor lightsabers. I thought they were cool. She threatens. She like opens up her lightsaber, and this Jedi fucking stops it. He's like, "Yeah, you can't stop us. We're all around." Blah 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 blah. And he ends up taking off. He does some Jedi tricks and shit, and he takes off. Inquisitor's like the grand. This is the Grand Inquisitor, by the way. They could do so much better, but whatever. They're stuck with it for I think 6 episodes, so we're stuck with it for 4 more episodes. He's like, "Hey, you're pretty much stupid. You're vendetta." Long story short, homegirl right here is looking for Obi-Wan because she wants to deliver Obi-Wan. Spoiler warning to Darth Vader, to Lord Vader. He's like, "You've been looking for 10 years. You're not gonna find him. He's fucking God. Blah blah blah. Get over it." And she's just like, "Go fuck yourself," in the most nicest Star Warsy way. And then we go to this other place on Tatooine where I don't know what kind of meat it is. It kind of looks like some salmon or some meat. I don't fucking know. Um, got a bunch of poor people fucking slicing up some meat, and there is Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is a butcher now, living the simple life. So this is him in hiding. This is where it gets really, really painful for me to watch because I like Ewan McGregor. I like him as Obi-Wan. I really, really enjoyed him as Obi-Wan because he made it his own. He took, from the original actor who played Obi-Wan, and he took some certain mannerisms, quotes, and he made it himself. This is where I find it to be a problem. So you got him cutting some meat, and he always cuts an extra piece. Like as everybody's leaving, it's into shift. He's leaving, and he always cuts an extra little piece. God, dude. And then it's the discussion of money when he gets to this when he goes to clock out. This guy in front of him, he's like, "Look, I don't have enough money. This is like half of what I got." The guy's like, "Blah blah 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 blah." I tuned out for like 30 seconds. It was a conversation that didn't need to happen. So he's poor. He's living in a fucking cave. Like legit, no bullshit. He's living in a goddamn cave. And he's still trying to get in touch with Qui-Gon. Um, some of the one of the Jawas that he has a really good relationship with shows up. He delivers a toy to Obi-Wan. Spoiler: he's gonna give it to Luke. We'll get to that later. And then he's also looking for something, but the Jawa stole his shit, and he's like reselling it. And Obi-Wan's like, "Could you at least clean my shit before you resell it to me?" I thought that was funny. It had a little comic relief. Meanwhile, that night, Obi-Wan is sleeping, and he's having some nightmares. And his nightmares are. I like how they're incorporating this shit because the nightmares are flashes of like episode 3 or episode 1 when Qui-Gon died by the hands of Darth Maul. And then, of course, when Obi-Wan had to do his worst to Anakin. So he's having some bad fucking nightmares. He's got some PTSD. This is actual PTSD, people, not what Amber Heard's been saying. Okay, okay. So he gets up in the middle of the night and he's calling out for Qui-Gon. He's calling out for his master. He's like, "Are you there? Are you there?" Nothing. Nothing. So meanwhile, he goes over to the farm. He's looking. He sees Uncle Owen. He sees the shit from the goddamn trailer. So you see fucking Luke just doing his little speedster shit. And he's like, cool. He waits until about, what was it, nighttime? Yeah, I'm breezing through these fucking notes like no other. Because, this show, it really, it didn't really cover anything this first episode. You would think the first episode right off the bat, this is Obi-Wan. This is him 10 years after everything was done, after the Revenge of the Sith, after Order 66. It's still in effect. This is now, he doesn't even know about Lord Vader. We'll get to that, but we won't get to that until episode 2. So, eh, fuck. So he waits until nighttime. He drops off the toy to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And then as he's going in the middle of the desert at the night, he bumps into that Jedi and he's like, "Oh my god, you're Obi-Wan." And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "My name is Ben." He goes, "No, I go by the name of Ben." He's like, "You must be mistaken." And he's like, "Da da 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 da." He's like, "What happened to you?" He's like, "You used to be something. You used to be you used to be a name that every Jedi could stand behind. You was a man." And that's when you hear pretty much that overview, that voiceover in the original trailer. Where he's like, "We've lost. The war is done." That's what he's telling this guy. He's like, "Jedi are done. War's lost. We suck. The Jedi are done. Just go into hiding and live out the rest of your fucking days." Like it's so sad. It's so sad that he like legit had to cuck down. It it was so sad. He's just like, "Yeah, like go about your fucking day. Like it's over. Like the war is over. Jedi are done. Go about your life. Don't if I were you." Oh, and he gives him the advice of take your lightsaber, go in the middle of the desert and bury it and just walk the fuck away. Where the fuck are we in my notes? Oh, we're getting to the good shit. So here's a mom, aka this is Leia Organa's. This is Leia's mom, her adopted mom, and she's looking for Leia. And she can't find Leia, so she's either in the cellar, somewhere in the house, or in the woods. Well, young Leia, I, I gotta give props to the actress, the little actress who's playing Leia, because you could tell she's like an OG Star Wars fan because she's got that Carrie Fisher essence going on with her little attitude and her little whip, her little quips. She ain't a little bitch. She wasn't annoying. She was very entertaining. Her little jokes were great too. Like I said, there's some good and there are a lot of bad things about this show. So she is up in the forest. She ran out in the forest. She's up in the trees, pretty much looking at she's looking at starships. She's looking at starships coming through. She's rattling them off. She's like, "That's a medical thing. That's a this. That's a that." She's like, "Ooh, this one." And she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen this one." She's got this really cool little gadget that she calls Lola that she talks to, and it talks back to her, kind of like her Dear Diary. Helps her get. It's kind of like a miniature BB-8. It's pretty cool. I'll give it that. Her mom finds her and's like, "Get the fuck down." She's like, "We gotta go." She's like, "Everybody's waiting. You're gonna have to change to the speeder." And she's like, "Sorry, Bob, I won't do it again." Then we cut back to goddamn Obi-Wan, dude. Like, this is just getting ridiculous. There's no plot, there's no story. It's just going from him to him seeing Luke to him. Some of the Inquisitors are looking for a Jedi, but it's not Obi-Wan. Just one particular Inquisitor is looking for Obi-Wan. And then you've got little snippets of Leia. And then you have more snippets of him. So meanwhile, he's cutting more shit, getting ready to dip out. He's having a moment of, why the fuck am I on this show? Like, that's the look of his face of like, why the fuck am I on this show? Why am I the executive producer of this show? Found that out. He ends up on Tatooine. Uncle Owen, like this actor who plays Uncle Owen, he he confronts him and goes, "Hey, we don't want your toy." And he's like, "You need to stop. You gotta stop, like, trying to get in contact with him." And he's like, "Look, we made a deal when Luke is young, when he's of age, he has to do his training." And then of course Uncle Owen snaps back. He's like you did his dad. He's like, his dad's dead. It's time for you to move on and just leave Luke. Leave Luke alone. Like, everybody's hating on Luke. He's a bitch. And then as they're having a conversation, the Inquisitors come back. This scene was actually pretty cool because there were certain things that I didn't think that they were going to show, but they did show. So the Inquisitors like, "Look, we're looking for Jedi." Straight up, like, we're straight up looking for the Jedi. And she confronts Uncle Owen. She's like, "Look, you got family, you a farmer." She's like, "You had Jedi." He's like, "I fucking hate Jedi." He's like, "I fucking hate them to the core." He's like, "If I find a Jedi on my property, I'm pretty much gonna shoot him." And she's like, "Good, good, that's good." So she threatens Uncle Owen's family. So now you know how Uncle Owen's family and Aunt Beru pretty much meet their fucking demise. So she threatens her family. She's like, "Look, I need information on a Jedi. If you don't give it to me," she's like, "I'm gonna kill this guy and his motherfucking family and go on about my day." So you now just know that I said that because now we all know this poor bastard's fate. And they move on. He brings up, oh yeah, she fucking brings up a lightsaber. Oh yeah, because she wants to see everybody's hands and shit. And so this chick's all talking shit, and she cuts her hand off, which is really fucking cool because they actually showed the whole lightsaber going through the bitch's hand, just clean off. I was like, all right, bet, all right, cool. I mean, I kind of want to like her, but I have a feeling this is going to be the shoe that falls off the other foot, and it does, and it does. And so, she's having the "I am woman, here we war" moment, and the other, I think he's the second, yeah, the second brother tells her to stop, tells her to stop. She takes a walk, and he's pretty much reiterating the same fucking thing that's been reiterated to this bitch all episode long. You're looking for somebody you're not going to find. You're not going to find Obi-Wan. Stop looking. Stop trying to please the Grand Inquisitor. Stop trying to please, of course, Darth Vader. But they don't say his name. They don't say Vader's name. They don't say his name throughout the whole first fucking episode, which is fine. Which is fine. So, Obi-Wan's like, hey, Owen, thank you. Thank you so much. He's like, thanks for the heads up. And he's like, I didn't do it for you. And now okay. You got Jimmy Spitz here in the back as Senator Organa. If you haven't remembered, he was in the prequels, and then he took Leia at the end of episode 3 because him and his wife always wanted to adopt a daughter, so they took Leia. So she's meeting family. This son of a bitch right here, this little cuck asshole, is Leia's cousin. I'm just gonna call him Cousin Organa. He's a son bitch. So she's up in her little speeder, fucking waving, acting like a good kid. The CGI was good. It's clean. It's typical Star Wars. It's clean, so I can't really harp on it. They're having a conversation. You see a familiar. There's a familiar motherfucker. I just noticed he was there. Hold up. Yeah, they're talking, more talking. That's one of the droids bringing her something to eat. She said, thank you. Her cousin's like, you thank your droids? And she's like, yeah, it's called manners. She's like, you might want to fucking try it. And he's like, it's a droid. And so she pretty much cut this motherfucker with words up one end and down the other and made him feel small for his age, of whatever age he is. It was kind of aesthetically pleasing. It was good. It was something Leia would do. Like, this little girl has the essence of Leia Organa in her acting. So she acted the way Leia would, with that snarky little fucking little attitude that Leia always had. So I gave her that. And plus, she's just adorable. Like, this actress is just adorable. It's like she's adorable. Like, even if the show sucks, I'm gonna consider her just to be, the bee's knees, because she's fucking adorable. Yeah. So she pretty much was like, "Look, you're trying to be like your daddy. You want to be all big and bad, but in reality, you're scared of him, and he got small." Like I said, you got Jimmy Spitz right here. Jimmy Spitz looking good. He's looking good. You know. Don't really know about his wife, but he looks good. Yeah. So Leia, so Leia got in trouble for talking shit to her cousin, and her mom's like, "Look, you got to apologize." And she's like, "For what? For him pretty much being a dick?" And so Mom storms out and was like, "Jimmy, you handle this shit." So Jimmy's like, "Look, when I was a kid, I wanted to live beyond the fucking mountains and do all this other shit." And she's like, "Well, what happened?" He's like, "I grew up and got into politics." So he's pretty much breaking it down like, "Look, you're gonna run this bitch one day, which she will. We all know her story." And he's like, "And you're gonna be able to boss people around like your cousin all day long." And he's like, he tells her pretty much, he's like, "Look, you take a beat, I'll meet you downstairs." Well, Leia decided to go for a run instead. She decided she's gonna take off and say, "Fuck this shit." She's out. I get it. I get it. And he comes back. He shows up to Bobby. He's like, "Look, she's gone. She's taken off. She couldn't have gone far." And so, well, dude. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let me see if I can get a good clip of him. So she's running in the forest and she meets this guy, Dream of Californication, aka Leaf. The Leaf right here. Yeah, I said it, his name, Leaf. He was like, "Look, we're here to kidnap you." So Leia takes off. She's a fucking running. She's a good runner for 10 years old. You know, she's getting in them hard to reach spots. Like she's going like underneath like the fucking like tree right here. She's going through like little nooks and crannies and shit. And she fucking runs into one of her guards actually kind of gets her on the beaten path and she's crying for help. He gets hit, which is great. Like that was great. Like he got fucking like hit on the side. That was great. It was like bam. I was like, oh shit, he got fucking. That was decked. That was decked. That was good shit. And so they pretty much surround her. They take her. Excuse me. His little beacon that they had in episode 3 that they all had like little mini pagers goes off. So he knows one of the kids is fucking trouble. He knows which one it is. And so he gets the message and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And they go, "Look, somebody took Leia. We gotta find her, and we need your help." And he's like, I'm done. I put away my lightsaber and I'm retired. I can't do that." And they're like, "Why can't you?" And he keeps reiterating, "My loyalty is to Luke. I said I would watch after Luke." And Homeboy, in the same breath, says, "If Luke is more important," he's like, "if Luke is half important as Leia, wouldn't Leia be important too?" Which is true. And Obi-Wan at that point bitched out hard, tells them, "Go look for a bounty hunter. Go look for," this is their face as he's telling them this, "Go look for another bounty hunter. Go look for another Jedi. Go look somewhere else. Like, fuck you, I'm out. Don't call again." He was a bitch. So you got Leia, she's tied up. We don't know where she's at. Meanwhile, Butcher Boy, I'm gonna call Obi-Wan Butcher Boy because this is all he's been doing all fucking day. It's like literally all episodes just been cutting motherfucking meat. You can tell he's thinking about it. He's contemplating whether or not to go. He gets to Tatooine, downtown. I'm gonna just say downtown Tatooine. The Inquisitors caught that Jedi. They hung his ass, but in a weird fucking way. They kind of harnessed him up, and so he goes back to his house. His little indicator light blinks red, meaning there's an intruder, instead of blinking blue, which means all clear. Jimmy Smits is there, and he's like, "Look, she's on." Ah, shit. I didn't even write down the planet. Starts with a D. I don't remember. He's like, "We located her. She's on this planet. Can you go get her?" He's like, "Please, I'm begging you." He's like, "Just one last fight, old man, for me." And so Obi-Wan picks himself up by his bootstraps. Oh yeah. Leia has a moment with the kidnapper. She's pretty much saying like, "Look, my dad is going to oh yeah, Leaf broke her fucking her little robot." She's pretty much saying like, "Look, my dad's gonna bring an army. He's gonna kill you and kick your ass." And you know, Like a typical princess would do, going, "Look, my daddy is a badass dude. He's gonna find when he finds you, he's gonna fuck you up." So, in the middle of the desert of Tatooine, Obi-Wan and his camel, they approach a spot. He whips out his military fucking shovel, his military grade shovel, and he starts digging. Oh yeah, so you find out it was a setup. The black girl, the black inquisitor, the third sister, set him up. Because she's like, look, she found out in the archives that Senator Organa worked with Darth Vader. She knows who Darth Vader is. So she figured out they both worked together. She found out that he has 2 kids. So she had those guys kidnap Leia as bait to get lure Obi-Wan out of hiding. Meanwhile, this motherfucker digging. And finds a box. It's just a dick in a box. What's in the box? You say. What do you say is in the box? Well, it was Anakin and his lightsaber. I think. Yeah, it was Anakin and his lightsaber. Yeah, this is where she's like, "It's a trap. I've set up a trap." Ha ha ha. So he's walking out. He's going to the transport. He's debating whether or not to leave. This chick is like, "Motherfucker, are you coming or going?" And so he's like, I guess I'm going." And shit, where's the money shot? Do they have the money shot? Can I bring it? Maybe. So he kind of flashes after he gives like his pass. This little thing, he flashes his lightsaber. He flashes the Obi-Wan lightsaber. So you know he's getting ready to go to work. So, god damn. Yeah, so he takes off. He takes off. That's how that's how part 1 fucking ended. Jesus Christ. On a scale of 1 to 10 with this show right now, holy fucking shit. This was a fucking 3? Like a solid 3? Like it, it just sucked. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. Like I had nothing. There was I wasn't like, "Ooh, I can't wait to see the second episode, like part 2 because you just left me on a cliffhanger." D- they didn't even do that. They didn't even do that. It was kind of one of those where I was like, "Really? That's all you got?" Like, don't get me wrong, the musical score was great. Listening to John Williams for about 55 minutes was amazing. Listening to that was great. Seeing Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan was cool, but then seeing him be a cuck, it's like, dude, what the fuck, man? He's soft. This Obi-Wan is soft as fuck. He shouldn't be soft. So that was not episode 1. Excuse me, part 1. So that was a solid 3. So now you see where we're really going. You're thinking, well, Chef, maybe part 2, the episode will go up. No, it doesn't. The only thing that had me go kind of like, oh shit, was towards the end when Obi-Wan finds some shit out. So, Jesus, let's get into part 2 because honestly, I'd rather see how Stranger Things season 4 part 1 starts because that also dropped today too. I'm busy as a motherfucker today. Because I was like, well, let me watch Obi-Wan first. We'll get that shit out of the way. And then I was like, then I'll watch Stranger Things. I'm not gonna review Stranger Things the final season. I haven't even done the first 4 seasons, so I'm just enjoying that for my pleasure and just going. If it was great, great. If it wasn't, well, the last season for me of Stranger Things wasn't. It was okay. It was okay. Season 2 was kind of. It was good, but it was could have been better. Um. All right. So episode part 2 pretty much was a recap of episode 1. I do kind of like the little the copper look they got for the Lucasfilm logo. Shit. I didn't go that far. So they end up Obi-Wan's on that fucking planet. I cannot remember the planet to save my fucking life. It starts with a D. I've heard god damn, it's gonna bother me. If I remember it, I'll put it in the comment section. Obi-Wan arrives and he can't locate the ship that Leia's on. So he asks a guy. This guy tells him, "Hey, the signals have been jammed for quite some time. He's got no. He doesn't. There's nothing he could do." And he's like, "Your best bet." He's like, "If you know, good luck to you." So he's no help. He's looking around. The costumes are great, and like I said, the sets are great. Like that's beautiful. I mean, it's kind of like a downtown Tokyo type deal, but it's great. So he's kind of looking for answers. He runs into, or this chick runs into him, and he's looking for. He's trying to find, who the fuck. He's trying to find a Jedi. He needs to find a Jedi. Long story short, he needs to find a motherfucking Jedi. So he's walking around, and he's got some shit going on because you could tell. He hears this guy going, "Hey, could you could you spare some credits?" And he looks, and his face was like, "Oh shit, this guy knows who I am because it's one of the clones." The clone looks at him. He doesn't know who Obi-Wan is. Obi-Wan assumes that he knows who he is, so he kind of freaks out a little bit. But once he realizes he doesn't know who he is, he kind of suppresses it, gives him a couple credits, and he moves on about his day, which I thought was kind of cool. So I was like, "Oh look, it's the Book of Boba Fett. Now we know where he got that look from." So yeah, that's Obi-Wan's face of him just staring him down. Like he's literally looking at him to make sure that homeboy doesn't recognize him, and he doesn't, which is good. He doesn't recognize him at all. So that's the plus. So he knows he can move on, and he's still trying to stay hidden. He's moving around, moving about, slowly but casually, doing the Jedi thing, mingling in. He sees just a couple stormtroopers. He moves out of the way. He diverts a little bit. He meets this girl. She's like, "Can I help you?" And she asks him, "Are you looking for spice or anything else, like any other type of drug?" He's like, "No, I'm looking for a Jedi. I'm looking for somebody. Maybe you can help me." And she's just like, he's like, "I'm looking for my daughter." He pretty much says, "I'm looking for my daughter." And she's like, "I was somebody's daughter once." And so she gives him a bottle of spice on the house. She's like, "I can't help you." She's like, "Maybe take a couple of hits of this shit." And she's like, "You'll forget you had a kid." Now you got this little player over here. He's like, "What you looking for, player?" He's like, "I'm looking for a." He's like, "I know a Jedi." He's like, "I could take you to him for a price." And so you see this Jedi figure. He's taking a mom and a son into a safe haven. You see him do the whole Jedi fucking tricks and shit. And he brings forth this fucking little walkie-talkie, and he's communicating to somebody about transport to get him and his mom out because this kid has abilities. And he's doing like a Jedi. He's like, I'm inside your brain. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. And it was the most stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I've seen a lot of shit in my day. Some bad acting. I've been watching it for 6 weeks on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial with Amber Heard. So he does this whole thing. They fall for it, and then she ends up paying him like 500 credits. Like he's literally got his hand on the table and he's tapping on the table like, "Hey, money, buddy." And he's like, "Oh my god, you're so kind. You didn't have to do this." She takes the money, parent, kid with the mob. They go to safety. And he's sitting there and then he makes a little smirk of like, ha 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 ha, and starts counting his money. He puts it in the fucking thing. Obi-Wan shows up and he's like, I'm looking for a Jedi. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm your man. Obi-Wan senses the bullshit. He finds out his little tricks and quips that he has like two magnets, like a magnet under like a wrist, like a wrist trick, like an old card trick where you used to hide like an ace up your sleeve or some shit. So he takes those apart and he breaks his shit. And he's like, look, I need your help to find somebody. And he's like, well, the best way to find somebody, if you're going to look for especially a child in this particular planet, you have to go to the sewers, aka the gutters. And he's like, well, can you take me there? Can you show me? And he's like, yep, sure. So he pretty much gives him the rundown. He's like, look, this is where you got to go. Had a fucked up rat running around. Poor dude. He shows up at the location and he's trying to figure out a way to get it. He sees a guy come out of the side door. Pretty much, I think he probably like fucked him up. I'm assuming he knocked him out because you don't see him, but next you see Obi-Wan in the building with his outfit on. So it looks like a little meth lab space edition. I'm just gonna put it that way. A meth lab space edition. Because that's what it looks like to me. Jake is, dude. We're 2 episodes in, and I'm honestly gonna say it's probably gonna be a bust. The only thing that's gonna have the expectations of everybody is Hayden Christensen. Is how is he gonna portray his Darth Vader? Because he's kind of. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is a solid show. The writing could be a little tighter. It could be better. I'm not gonna lie. It could be better, but what? This is limited, and I don't know why this has to be so limited because this is gonna be 6 episodes when technically this was supposed to be, I think, a movie before it became a show, which you can kind of see how it was going to be a movie and where they were gonna go, but they did a lot of editing. But like I said, we're only 2 episodes in. Like I said, my expectations, they're not as high as everybody's. They're pretty much like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna observe, report, and yeah. Like, do I have high expectations for a certain show that's getting ready to drop? I think either August or September. Yes, because I've read the books. I'm not watching Lord of the Rings. I already fuck that. I'm gonna watch House of Dragons because I read all the Game of Thrones books and I like the books. The final season of the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones can suck a dick. Moving on. So he's up in there. He's up in the little space meth lab. So he's looking around. He sets a concoction that this is pretty cool. He does like a really cool science experiment that causes an explosion that gets everybody distracted. And so he's able to not get this guy's key card, goes through the hall, some dude and another guy walk out and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh man, I must have gotten turned around." He's like, "I must have gotten turned around, with all the commotion and stuff." He's like, "Hey, get back to work." And they have a really cool fight scene. There's a really, really cool choreographed fight scene because it was mostly the angle started up. So you got to see kind of like the best way I could describe it, if anybody's watched Daredevil on Netflix before it went to Disney Plus, there was a specific fight scene in the hallway that was just one shot and it was just boom, 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 boom. This is kind of how it was, where it starts up and then it goes into the hall. So it looks like it was a crane shot that went what it was all one shot where we went up all the way down where you got to see his movements. You got to see how rusty he was because he did hurt himself a couple times. He took a hit. He's able to still take a good Obi-Wan hit. He hurt himself a couple times. So he is rusty. He knocks these guys out, gets the key card. He goes into door number 1. He thinks it's Leia. It's not. It's a trap. There's a dream of Californication. Fucking hate that band. Anyways, he shows up and he's like, holy shit. He's like, the Inquisitor was right. He's like, I didn't believe her. He's like, I didn't think it was possible. He's like, she said if we kidnapped the girl, you would come out of the woodwork. He's like, this is great. He's like, we've got you. She's on her way. Once she's here, she's going to take care of you. We're going to get paid. Done deal. Um, so Obi-Wan and him have a moment. He gets a couple punches in. He gets his lightsaber. He's like, this is cool shit. He's like, I'm going to keep this. And Obi-Wan's like, the fuck you are. And so remember the little drugs that the homegirl gave. So he took the whole bottle, smashed it on the ground, big ass red fucking smoke comes up, and I believe all of them just got really, really fucking high. Like ridiculously high. Like I honestly think they got like they were fucked up. So outside the fucking the little thing, you've got third sister. She shows up because she knows. She's like, get the fuck out of my way. Like, legit. She's just like, dude, get the fuck out of the way. Obi-Wan is still looking for Leia. He goes to door number 2. Da-da-da-da-da. When the door opens, Obi-Wan goes in and she literally throws like a chair on his nuts. Like she hits him in the nuts. He's like, oh shit. You could tell he had that oh shit moment. He's like, all right, let's go. Let's get you the fuck out of here. She's like, hey, who sent you? She's like, I'm friends with your dad. She's like, where's the army? He's like, I'm all you've got. Come on. And she's just like, all right, bet. So he gets her outside. And this is where the little cat and mouse game kind of goes into play. So he's like, look, stick with me. You got to stay hidden. You got to stay by me. You got to listen to every little thing that I say. Okay, princess? And she's like, okay. So everything's going fine. The Inquisitor chick, he's like, we got to change clothes. He takes off the old outfit, finds his old robes, puts those bitches on. She takes off her jacket, puts something fucking random on. And he's pretty much telling her, like, look, I'm going to get you the fuck out of here. I'm going to get you to your daddy. You're going to be cool. She's like, all right, bet. The Inquisitors show up. You've got the Grand Inquisitor, you've got the third sister, and you've got the second brother. And you got this bitch. I forgot her name. Grand Inquisitor, pretty much. This is the Grand Inquisitor. He pretty much confronts the third sister, going, "Dude, what the fuck did you do? And she's like, look, he's like, you kidnapped a senator's sister. She's like, we've done worse, which is true. They've done a lot worse. And Homegirl's pretty much like, she kind of shrugged after that. She's like, yeah, we've done worse. Like, yeah, like, what can you do? And he's just like, look, he's like, you've had this obsession for quite some time. And he's like, what? He's like, what are you expecting from this? And she's like, look, Kenobi is mine. She's like, I lured him here. I'm gonna bring him to the master. And he's like, pretty much like, bitch, stand down. I will show you how it's done. Like, let the man do the job. Like, let me do it. He's like, I will show you how it's done. So he's like, stand down. She ain't gonna stand down. I mean, he looks okay. I mean, if they could have just CGI'd his head and just shrunk it just a little bit, I'd be okay with it. But I can look past these things. But it's just the small critiques. It's just the small little details that I'm seeing with him have little issues, but it's neither here nor there. Um so tells her to stand down. She has that look of like, fuck that. So she gets in contact with those guys that kidnapped Leia, and she's like, look, I pretty much want you guys to put out an all points bulletin on Obi-Wan. Let everybody know that he is here. Seal everything. Like, he's mine. He's not to be killed. Like, pretty much like just let him like spread the word. So you've got Obi-Wan and you've got Leia. They gotta change outfits again. So this is actually pretty cool because every time they get to certain places, they're changing outfits. So Obi-Wan is still in his car, but he has to change Leia's outfit. So she grabs a green jacket and he pays for that. And he's like, look, you don't need the gloves. And he's like, yeah, fuck it. Throw in the gloves too. Here you go. What Leia wants, Leia gets. And she's just like, thank you. Like, she's adorable. This actress who's playing Leia is fucking adorable. You can tell she watched the original Star Wars and she's not stained in the new shit. God bless this little girl. Oh, so they find out shit's starting to go down because they realize security's getting tight. Obi-Wan does see oh, before we get to that, Leia decided to take off because she realized she's just like she has an inkling that Obi-Wan's not who he says she is. So she turns around, sees this big ass fucking thing, and her face is just like, holy shit. And so Obi-Wan's like, will you get the fuck over here? Like any child would do when they're at like an amusement park and you're trying to restrict, like what I do with my nephews. It's like, get the fuck over here. It's, she's never been off planet. This is like her first, well, off, I mean, she's been off world, but she's never been to a world like this. Um, the black kid shows up to the fake Jedi and goes, "Hey man, we had them." And he's like, "All right, time to be a hero. Let's go save them." So Obi-Wan and Leia are walking down the thing. He see he sees Leia sees the picture of Obi-Wan, the wanted poster, and she goes, "Hold up. You're." She puts two and two together. That this is a trap and that she's the bait. And so she's pretty much like, dude, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I swear, he's like, I'm really, really good friends with your dad, blah, blah, blah. You have to trust me. I fucking fly. Jesus. So she decides she's going to take off. The Inquisitors are fucking looking. They're at the Grand Inquisitor, and you got, I believe he's the second brother. I want to say he's the second brother. They haven't really said his name, but I'm guessing he's the second brother. Inquisitor's pretty much like, I want to fight you. And so they find some guy. He's got his wrist up and they find that he looks at his wrist and he finds out that her name is Reva. The third sister's name is Reva. And he finds out Reva went above and beyond and went ahead of him. And he's like, God damn it, this bitch making my job 10 times harder than it needs to be. Meanwhile, you got her looking like Batman over fucking Gotham City, observing all of the land of Tokyo. I'm just kidding. But she does look like fucking Batman, like Batwoman. If Batwoman was good, she could be Batwoman. She'd probably be better than Javicia Leslie. Anyhow. So Leia is she's looking around. She's got ahead of the group. Like Obi-Wan is like they're looking for a safe spot to lay low for a second. He's like, look, we can lay low here. She's having a moment because she's just like, I don't know if I'm gonna see my parents, whatever. So she wants to know. She's like, you say you're a Jedi, and he's like, oh yeah, and she's like, well, can you make me float? And he's like, what? And she's like, well, every Jedi knows how to make people float or at least levitate something. He's like, I haven't done anything. So she's having doubts. She's like really, really, really having fucking doubts. Until this guy shows up and he's got a wristband with Obi-Wan's thing. She takes off. She's like, she put two and two together. She's like, I'm the bait. You're the blah, blah, blah. She takes the fuck off. Obi-Wan's looking for her. They get up on the rooftop. This is also a scene from the trailers. Obi-Wan has no aim. He's got to work on his aim. He is rusty as fuck. He used to be one shot, one kill. Now he's got, I don't know how many rounds he blew, but he's in a firefight. Reva sees it. She has force powers. She's force sensitive. Very force sensitive. Spoiler. They weren't really supposed to show it, but she does. She's got the force is strong. Like she's got a strong sense of the force. Leia's running rooftop to rooftop. Obi-Wan's running after it, also getting shot at the same time. He's having difficulties, just like this kid. You got homeboy sitting up there like, time to be a fucking hero. And he sees him up on the rooftop. Homegirl uses the force. She like force grips this thing, fucking knocks over the panel, which is pretty fucking cool. Does this whole little leap. Leia got to a gap. All the fighting and shit, she decides to run it. She's too little. She falls right down the middle. She's holding on by one hand and she's like, Ben, save me. He's like, hold on, please hold on. I'm coming to get you. He's like, and so what happens? She falls. This is Obi-Wan's moment. He ends up using the force as strong as possible, man. Levitates her down all the way. I mean, inches. This kid was inches from being fucking pancake. Gets the force on her, slowly levitates her down. He meets up with her. Everybody sees that. Holy shit! There's a Jedi here. They kind of go about their business. Obi-Wan runs up to her. He's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "You are a Jedi." So it's kind of like one of those, like, I believe you. And it's that moment, I honestly believe this moment that these two are having right now solidified their relationship in the further movies. Like when we get to episode 4, 5, and 6, George Lucas is his chapters. I think this is the moment that solidified their relationship where she could trust him on another level. That's just my thoughts, personally. Because from here on out, like she's by his side, listening to every little thing. Um, the Jedi, the fake Jedi, meets him in the hallway, and he goes, "Look," he's like, "I'm gonna pay it forward." He's like, "There's a shipping crate out here." He's like, "Here's the key. Here's coordinates. When you get to the coordinates, talk to this guy. He'll help you to get to where you need to go." And he's like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "Well," he's like, "I like money. I like credits." He's like, "But I also feel guilty about, kind of feel like a dick what I did." So he's like, I'll stall. They get to the station. Um, oh, before all that, yeah, they get to the station. You got the Grand Inquisitor. This is what I like about the Grand Inquisitor. I wish I could fucking show it too, but I know I'm gonna get struck. His lightsaber. Okay, so fuck. I'm gonna need. Hold on. We got props. Okay, so the Grand Inquisitor, like the Grand Inquisitor's lightsaber. It's not your average lightsaber. Okay, so it's pretty much like the size of this, but so if you put your hand here, it kind of goes like a bar goes over here, and then a bar goes down here. Riva's lightsaber just has a bar that goes like here. So does the yeah, Riva, which is the third sister, has her lightsaber that has an arc like this. So does the second brother. The only really cool thing about the Grand Inquisitors is that his goes in a full fucking circle where he's able to just rotate the motherfucker that just which is really fucking cool. Like it's fucking cool. So you have a moment where he shows up that. Homegirl is located. She's good. She gets into a fucking hallway, runs into the fake Jedi, and he's like, "Oh, you found me." Blah 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 blah. And she's just like, "I sense bullshit in you," and he's just like, "Look, you found me." Blah blah blah. So she's like, "No." So she straight up force slams him up against the wall. He's like, "Ah, that fucking hurt." And she's like, "I'll get the information I need." So what does she do? She Jedi trick. She uses her Jedi set. And she finds out where Obi-Wan is, which is in a storage crate, or cargo hold. Excuse me. We get to the cargo hold. He's like, "You gotta be safe." Blah blah blah. And Leia has a moment with him where she's like, "Look." She's like, "If somebody's offering help," she's like, "I think we should take it." Like I said, adorable. She's adorable. She's like, "I'm just saying." He's just like, and he has that moment of like, "How old are you?" And she's like, "I'm 10." And he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Why?" He's like, "You just remind me of somebody I used to know." Meaning she's a lot like her mom, aka Padme. Which is true. And she asks, what was she like? She's like, she was fearless. She was just like you. She was very smart, very stubborn, very stoic. She passed away. Leia's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So he pretty much had told her in the nicest way, your mom is badass and she's dead. The Inquisitor done found him. She's like, Obi-Wan. So he gives Leia the key. And he gives her the coordinates, and he goes, "Look, if I don't make it, you take off." And he's like, "And I'll be right behind you." And she's like, "Okay, cool." Leia takes off. The Inquisitor, the second sister, she starts having some words with him. She starts fucking with him. She's like, "I could feel." She's like, "I could sense your anger. I could sense your pain." She's like, "I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna hurt you." She's like, "I just want to deliver you to him." She's like, because apparently when she said to him, she felt something like in Obi-Wan, like, what the fuck do you mean? And she's like, oh, you don't know. She's like, he's awake, he's alive, he survived. His name is Darth Vader. You might know him. And then before we even get to that, the Inquisitor shows up. The Grand Inquisitor shows up and was like, "Look, I'll take it from here. I'll bring it over." And she's just like, "Dude, this is my like pretty much like this is my collar. You're not gonna have it." And so Leia turns on the key. She's getting ready to take off. If worse comes to worse, she ends up stabbing the Inquisitor, right, the Grand Inquisitor, right between the in the stomach there, killing him. I think he's dead. May not be. We'll find out. Um. So once he's dead, he pretty much Obi-Wan figured out pretty much that it was Anakin that is still alive. So he learned right then and there from third sister that Anakin is still alive and that he is now known as Darth Vader. Now this is where it's gonna get interesting. This is where it better get interesting as this shit continues. Because now that he fucking knows, he legit was sitting there. He's in the car, and, and Leia's like, "Are you okay?" And like Obi-Wan is like, really fucking. He's reeling right now because he just realized Anakin's not dead, even though he left him on Mustafar. And when he left him, motherfucker was on fire. He presumed he was dead. Now we get to the cool fucking part, the last scene, the last cool scene of the fucking episode. We get a glimpse. We get a glimpse of Hayden Christensen. This is him, and you can hear him doing the whole, his little Darth Vader fucking thing. Pretty much, Reva's telling him pretty much before I even end this. She pretty much told him, "Look, he's been looking for you ever since the day that you left him. So pretty much the day that he fucked him up. That's 10 years, maybe 11. Yeah, 10 years. So he's been looking for Obi-Wan for 10 fucking years, ever since he left him for dead on Mustafar. Which you know, it's cool because it gives you the V for Vendetta on why he is the way that he is. Um, so hopefully, yeah, you get to see him. He's in his little bath, and they kind of have like a little. That's pretty much all you got for. That's pretty much all they showed of him in this episode. So you could see his damage. You can see the skin still fucked up. Yes, chef. Hi. And it's like, and then you've got his mask right here. You've got his little piece here over his throat, down, and then you've got his little box. It's you can't see it, but it's down there. It's in the murkiness, but it's down there. And then he got all these fucking tubes and shit. I think maybe yeah. And that's the end of this episode. This one was better. I enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed the first episode. This one was more like a 5 for me rather than the first episode. Now, like I said, I think this is like 6. I know this is a limited series and I think it's 6 episodes. So next Friday will be episode 3. So how this is going to pan out, I don't know. How this is going to work, I don't know. It's like I know the next episode he's got to get Leia back to the Organas, and then he's probably gonna end up back on what Tatooine, looking for, going, "Hey, Luke." I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe Obi-Wan drops Leia off, and then him and Anakin bump into each other, and they go, "Hey, friend. Hey, friend. How are you? Hey, boy. Hey. It's been 10 years." I don't know. I honestly don't know how they're gonna do this. Was this honestly better than The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett? Yes, it was. This was much better than The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett combined. It, I really honestly I don't really have anything, man. I don't have usually I would have a lot to say about it, but I don't. I'm at a loss for words because this is just it's new. I get it. It's taking place 10 years after, Revenge of the Sith. So I know we gotta oh god. We gotta like cut some ties and it's fences, mend some fences and all this shit. But I really don't see how we're gonna do like the very okay. So the very first part one, yes, I will give them the cool recap of like the nostalgia. Like honestly, I'll give them that the quick like okay, in case you've never seen the prequels, here it is, and it's like boom, 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 everything you need to know. Like honestly, if you never watched the prequels and you just watched part one of Obi Wan, and you just watched those first, I think it was like a minute and a half. You honestly did not need to watch the prequels because they just pretty much said it for you. They're like, this is the important shit that happened. This is all you really need to know because they showed all the important shit that you needed to know. I like Ewan McGregor. I like the fact that you do get to see him a little bit broken. I'm really hoping that he's not broken this whole time. Now that he knows that Anakin's alive, now it's like, dude, it's like now that he knows, like that was actually a good, well written, acted out scene when she's just fucking with him. She's like, look, she's like, I know something. That's pretty much like, I know something you don't know. I'm gonna tell you a secret, and then she just drops the bomb, and his face was just like, holy fuck, like I pretty much thought I killed this kid, and I took his lightsaber. I took it in the fucking desert of Tatooine and buried it. And yet, here's the cool thing that you don't know. He grabbed both of them, so he has both of them. He's got both Anakin. He's got Anakin and his lightsaber. So he's gonna wield both of them probably soon. I hope because he didn't use his lightsaber in this episode, which kind of pissed me off. I'm sorry. It really did. Motherfucker has it and he didn't use it at all. I get he had to be hidden. I get he had to do certain things, but god damn it, when you're in a firefight on the rooftop, and I get you're a little rusty and your aim's a little off, but dude, all you had to do one time was just whip out the lightsaber real quick and pop, pop, boom, done deal, done fucking deal. So that was a little that was a little bummer for me on that one. Like I really, really, really wanted to see that. They but it was it's fairly decent. We'll see how episode 3 is because episode 3 is gonna has to be the turning point because we have to get to this. We have to resolve the number one big question because obviously these two are gonna meet one more time before they actually meet one last time in episode what 4? A New Hope. What are you doing? Thank you. That's mine. Would you like to say hi to everybody? Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Yeah. Say hi. So yeah, I don't. We'll see. We'll see how this ends up. Huh? Because you didn't watch it. You were sleeping. Yeah, you were sleeping. You need a bath. You're dirty. You smell like a foot. Anyways, but yeah, overall Obi Wan, dude. Okay, I can see where the bait and shep like right. Get hype for yeah. Hey, buddy. Your people wants to see you. Look, your peoples wants to see you. Yeah, your peoples wants to see you. You have to cooperate. Um, I don't know because I know right after this we're probably what's the next Star Wars one? Endor. I'm not really looking forward to seeing that because it's like I'm not really interested in seeing Endor or Andor or whatever the fuck we're calling it. I don't fucking know. I was more focused on seeing Obi-Wan because I like Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of my favorite Jedis, man, besides Mace Windu. As you know, that's just me. But the show, man, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know how it's gonna go down. This is either gonna go down one or two ways. It's gonna be one of those where it's really, really fucking good, and it's gonna make me eat my words and make a lot of people eat their words, or it, it's gonna be really fucking bad. And it's gonna be one of those where I go, "Well, I told you so." I'm hoping it's not one of those "I told you so" moments because I'm really hoping to eat my words on this show. I'm really hoping the writers and the directors do their fucking job, but it is fucking Kathleen Kennedy and it is fucking not George Lucas anymore. It's like watching Star Trek when you see it's based upon. When you look at Star Wars now, it's based upon Star Wars by George Lucas. It's like, ooh, ooh, that hurts. That hurts. But it's in Disney's hands now, and how they're gonna do this is, well, it's here, and I like what I'm seeing a little bit. I need to see more. I kind of feel like Kylo Ren right now in The Last Jedi when he's like, more! I need more. I want, it was lacking action. That's what, it wasn't, it had its action sequences, but it wasn't until the second episode. Like, yeah, okay, watching a Grand Inquisitor put a lightsaber up to a woman to chop off her hand is great, fine, and dandy. Yeah, okay, seeing a Jedi being not being hung, but he was hanged. It looked like he was harnessed up there. There wasn't any action sequences until you got to the rooftop, and that was only maybe a good 2-3 minutes, like in between, because you had scenes in between that scene. So if you really break it down, it was maybe like 2-3 minutes. So I need more. I need more Star Warsy. I need more Star Wars action. I need them lightsabers. Like, y'all are lighting them up, but you ain't using them. That's what's pissing me off. It's like, I got a lightsaber, zoom, and they light it up, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna use it, and then they're, it's like, son of a bitch. It's like you're giving my hopes up pretty fucking quick here. It's like you've lit up the lightsabers at least. The Inquisitors have at least light up the lightsabers between both episodes at least 4 times, and one of them is used to just chop off a chick's hand. That's it. Obi-Wan went to the middle of the fucking desert to go find himself, and then he found 2 lightsabers. It was like, and didn't even use it. Or maybe when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader meet, he'll go, hey, Anakin, and he'll go, hey, Obi-Wan. He's like, hey, this belongs to you. I'm so sorry. I thought you were dead, so I took your lightsaber as a keepsake. Hopefully I didn't get sand in it. Watch, that'll be funny as shit if that actually happened. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my fucking review of parts 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan. Like I said, it wasn't really, it wasn't like, oh shit, this is like, fuck yeah. It was kind of like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Now you just need to execute it more. Like, I don't know. I ain't a writer. I didn't fucking produce this shit. I'm not one of the goddamn content motherfuckers on this. I just watch it and review it, and then yeah, that's my piece. So I guess these are coming out on Fridays, or I'm assuming they're dropping at midnight. So if they're doing it that way, and if that happens, then I might do my reviews late Thursday night because at 9 o'clock Pacific, it'll be midnight on the East Coast. And if they drop the episodes on Thursday nights, then I'll just go ahead and watch that shit and do a night review of it. If not, then I'll just do a Friday review of this shit because I ain't touching Star Trek. That shit sailed. Shit's gone. And yeah, like we have a tie in the poll. How do we have a tie in the poll? Somebody needs to break the tie in the poll. I don't even think I could vote on my own poll. No, I can't even vote on my own fucking poll. Actually, I can. I just don't want. I'm lazy. I don't want to grab my phone. I'm lazy. But yeah, so next Friday, I'll fuck it. I'll probably just do my reviews on Friday. And yeah, like I said, this show it wasn't like it was okay. It's an okay start. I mean, we'll see where the road takes us. But yeah, like I said, next Friday I'll be busting this out. So yeah, we'll do it Fridays because Thursday nights, trying to do them late Thursday nights might be a little hard for me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel next Thursday or Friday. Whatever. Or I might just like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I got like I'm gonna go see Top Gun. So that's my plan. Actually, I'm gonna watch a thing of Stranger Things and then figure out if I'm gonna go see Top Gun tonight or tomorrow. Cause yeah. So I hope everybody has a good Friday evening. I hope everybody's safe. Let's see. And I hope everybody sees Top Gun. Because I plan on seeing Top Gun. And then I'm probably going to do a fucking review. Like, of Top Gun. Because I am pumped to see. I am pumped to see Top Gun. That's pretty much like, I think the best movie of the year for me right now is probably Top Gun right now. Because no other movie's doing it for me. Because, so. Hey, Jeff, you know me, bro. That's how I do. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. I watch this shit so you guys don't have to. I review this shit so you don't have to watch a single lick. I mean, if I said it's a good show, then hell yeah, go for it. I mean, like I said, this is my own review. If you happen to watch Obi-Wan and you actually have a different review and you think my review's different, hey, I'm more than happy to hear your words. But like I said, these are mine. This is what I have like, you know. Show was it was okay. It was okay. Now, Stranger Things season 4 part 1 might be a little different. It might actually be one of those where I go, "All right, they did better. They did better than the last season cuz season 3 sucked for Stranger Things. I ain't going to lie. I ain't going to lie. I know, I'm sorry, Raquel. It was like one of those, like, I got home and I was like, if I don't do this now, I'm not gonna do it at all. And I sat down and I straight up started watching this shit. And then I realized, oh shit. Right? Thank you. Like, Jesus. It's true. It's true. But yeah, I mean, and so yeah, then I found out Stranger Things dropped and I was like, well, we'll see if part 1's worth it. I hope it's better than what they forked out last season. It, fuck, man. I don't even know. I don't even remember what happened last season in Stranger Things. Hopefully they have a recap, which they probably will, because I'll be like, oh, I just know they were in the Upside Down, or they're trapped in the Upside Down, and I think Hopper's in Russia, if I remember correctly. And that's all I got. That's all I remember from Stranger Things. It really wasn't aesthetically pleasing. But yes, so I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna make some popcorn, and I'm gonna bust out some Stranger Things and enjoy the rest of my Friday night. I hope everybody enjoys their Friday, and I will catch you guys on the next live stream, which will be either on my channel or it'll probably be on Sunday or Saturday night on Black Death Gaming, because I probably will be doing some more Evil Dead. So that's my plan. All right, everybody, have a good